Tonight, Arizona's Secretary of State is back in the hot seat after a new report found her office broke the law when it made some very big election mistakes. Tonight, CBS 5 investigates the mistakes that has some calling for Michelle Reagan to resign. Let's go now live to Derek Stahl. Derek?
Hey, good evening. This independent report by the Attorney General's office blasts the Secretary of State's office for failing in its duties, but concludes that ultimately no one violated any criminal statutes. This all has to do with pamphlets that were supposed to be sent to voters ahead of the May 2016 election. Roughly 10% of Arizona's electorate didn't get them in time. The Secretary of State has been facing tough questions for more than a year about problems with election publicity pamphlets in 2016.
Anybody run a primary before in your office?
An estimated 400,000 voters did not get a pamphlet before voting began on Proposition 123, a controversial measure that ultimately passed by less than 20,000 votes.
This is just one in a series of monumental mistakes being made by this office that have affected the outcome of elections.
Valley Attorney Tom Ryan filed the complaint that launched the investigation.
She has proven she is unfit and unqualified for the office. She should be effectively removed. We should not have to wait till the next election.
The independent report says staff in Reagan's office were inexperienced and failed to act once they discovered errors with their mailing list. State Senator Katie Hobbs is running for Reagan's job.
The findings in the report were worse than we initially thought. We found out that the staff knew about it for nearly 3 weeks before the public was informed. That's an egregious violation of the public trust.
I do not believe that it was an intentional on part of Michelle Reagan's part. Certainly, I think this was a mistake.
Political analyst Marcus Dellartino says this episode could prompt legislative change at the Capitol to make sure mistakes like this don't happen again.
I wouldn't be surprised if Secretary Reagan herself actually looked for a sponsor and was a proponent of passing such legislation.
Now, a spokesman for the Secretary of State's office said they have made staffing changes. They've reviewed this report. They've added layers of quality control. Ironically, today, election officials announced a new pamphlet issue in Cochise County. In that case, up to 4,500 voters may be missing pamphlets for an election next month. Cochise County does tell me that the problem happened on the county end and not at the state level. I'm Derek Stahl for Arizona's Family.